Look who's back, kids. Episode 2 of the Vision Board Podcast. I'm Tristan Cannell. Alongside me, I've got...
What's up, man? Johnny, how's it going?
Welcome back, Johnny. It's good to see you again, man. Okay, first shout out to our awesome sponsors, The Organic Trainer and Jackrabbit Slim's Barbershop.
Yeah, guys, The Organic Trainer, to be real brief on them, check them out at www.theorganictrainer.com. What you'll find on their website is it's a tea company basically specifying in the fitness industry. The idea here is to get us off of, a lot of the guys take stimulants, pre-workouts, and you'll find a couple exercise teas. I know I like the hibiscus flavored one, and it's caffeinated with green tea leaf extract, so it's all natural. Also, we have on that site you'll find a recovery tea. There's turmeric healing properties, CalmX. It's like a sleep tea, chamomile flavored, so it's a good one there to check out. Our other sponsor, Jackrabbit Slim's Barbershop. Basically, I'm a big fan of keeping it clean.
Check it out.
Whenever you're trying to feel good about yourself, get cleaned up. You have a big night, big weekend, maybe going on a date. It's always good to feel the best. And what Dre does over there is he's the best man at what he does in his craft. You've been there, I've been there. So you can check him out at King's Cross, Potts Point, Jackrabbit Slim's Barbershop.
He's become a bit of a better boxer too.
You'll see him in the ring soon. 100. Yeah.
He's looking good. How's your week this week, man? I've had an awesome week, you?
Yeah, my week was... I can't complain.
What happened this morning, man? You had a pretty big announcement.
Yeah. So I'd like to give a shout out to the Personal Training Developmental Center, PTDC. It's basically it's a forum for personal trainers, fitness professionals, and I've been following them since I got in the industry. Specifically, a guy named Jonathan Goodman. Follow him on Instagram, follow him on Facebook. Always posting the most top-notch articles, feedback. And they did a little feature on me, so it was a good thing to wake up to, and I feel really fortunate that somebody's paying attention, and it's good to see the hard work slowly paying off.
Yeah, man, they're very well regarded in our industry, and it was good to see you actually.
Thanks, man.
To get up there, man, because it was a good week for both of us. Because obviously I did a piece with Wall Street Journal this week as well,
that was awesome.
Which was good. I haven't really done it since I left finance, and
my girlfriend kept asking me. She was like, she overheard us speaking on the phone, and she was like, "Did you just say Wall Street Journal? You know that's an American company."
Yeah.
I was like, Lenny, I know.
So it is. I really like doing that sort of thing. Actually, remember we were talking about.
What was it about?
I like writing. It was about obviously swapping industries and the actual trend towards a lot of people going towards the fitness industry now. And how like some of because in Australia, the actual employment figures haven't really been showing too much consistency around some of the, obviously mining jobs have been dropping off, and really they wanted to know where people have actually been trying to find work. So they knew they could get a few good comments from me. So we sat down for about an hour and it was good to chat because, like I said, since I've left finance, I haven't really done too much media stuff. Like I know we do a lot of social media and stuff like that, but in terms of direct media, it's good to get back in there. And I love chatting and just telling people.
Yeah, I read that article. It was actually just a couple of weeks ago on Forbes magazine released this article about the fitness industry in Australia. And yearly, it's a $400 million a year industry.
Yeah.
I mean, you put things in perspective. Roughly 20 plus million people in the whole country. Mm-hmm. And then from that, they had the graph showing that the fitness industry will be at its most matured state, 2016 to 2017, and people are starting to notice because, to be fair, there's many different routes to go in the fitness industry. You can do one-on-one clients, you can do group fitness in a park, you can do online, which is really popular.
Yeah.
So it's really cool to see industries paying attention to that, and then you coming from both.
It is actually interesting to see it actually doing so well.
Yeah.
Despite the bit of a recession that we're kind of having in Australia. So
Is it a recession?
Yeah, it is a little bit of a recession.
Can't tell.
So it would actually be very interesting to see what it would be like if it's at full ball. So
I mean, when you look at what the fitness industry is all about and what the main purpose of it is, it's about empowering people, teaching people, and then from the client's perspective, it's about them evolving.
Yeah.
And so we're assisting. It's giving service. So you would, I mean, if I was coming from a client perspective, and I'm paying money for something, I expect the highest service.
I would expect a full experience. You know, I mean, it's not just about being in the gym; it's about all the little things on the side, and it's about accountability, a program.
Yeah,
it's about nutrition. It all kind of adds up. We're both very, very lucky that our clients. We've got awesome clients.
Yeah, we do.
And let's have a little shout out. Like for me this week,
the client shout out.
Dan was awesome.
Dan's a beast.
He had 175 on his deadlift.
Yeah.
He weighs 70 kilos. He was doing 80 kilos.
175 on it. You put that video up, didn't you?
Yeah, 80 kilos he was 12 weeks ago.
Yeah.
And then I've got Glenn's only come to me recently. He's been 4 weeks.
Yeah.
He weighs 82. He lifted 195 on his deadlift.
I saw that too.
So he's nearly there. He's got 5 kilos to go, and he's been away for 2 weeks. So he's never done legs before.
Yeah. That's the beauty of it. When you see these, when we get to deal with many different people on many different levels, and then the more experienced you are, the more experience you get working with people, you're able to see their potential. You're able to see things in them that they don't see yet.
Yep.
So that's what I know you find a lot of enjoyment in that, and that's where I find my happiness too, just being part of that. Being able to have a firsthand seat at watching this person grow. And Dan, I see him. Was he there this morning?
Yeah, he was.
Yeah, that was Dan.
He was
okay, I'm bad with
yeah.
names. I'm good with faces.
Dan was absolutely killing this morning. He was looking pumped.
Yeah, so in terms, I have a couple client shout-outs. Natalie. So Natalie came to me, it's only been about 4 weeks. This is a specific instance of somebody never joining a gym, hadn't worked out since she was young, had a little bit of a background in gymnastics, and you could, if you look at it from the, they say, judging a book by its cover, you would look at her and you would think she's an athlete.
Yeah, you would. But she's quite tall.
Yeah, tall, lean. Yeah, and so I started teaching her boxing this week, and boxing...
It's challenging, man. That's
very
one of the most challenging things I've ever done.
And to watch her with the movement, being able to pick things up so quickly, because what we're doing is, if you have a client that is foreign to any movement, say I've never deadlifted, so you're going to teach me how to deadlift, that's a new language. Or I've never boxed. You're going to teach me to box. I have to learn a new language. And learning new languages are hard, but at the same time, learning new languages, it assists us into growth and evolving. Yeah. And where else is that going to show up in her life? So we did a boxing session, and I do a very basic, starting from the ground up footworks, basic punches, combinations, and just to see after one session, I know I'm more excited than she is, because it's hard to see when we're in it. How good you are, and we're our worst critics. So I'm sure she didn't get it, but I get to guarantee in 4 weeks, 5 weeks, she's gonna be throwing, mad combos. Another one of mine is Varun. I'm just gonna have to sneak him in there. I talk about Varun a lot on my blog, if you check that one out. But man, this guy is he's a savage. He's one of these people that everything I've given him, whether it's the workout or the things to do outside the club, because that's where it gets
done.
Yeah. Those things where no one's watching.
Exactly.
And I've watched you watch it.
That's when the champions are born.
Yeah, you've seen them.
Yesterday, I remember I called you and
I
saw him sneaking in a little hungry.
Yeah, Varun, if you're listening, man, we're gonna have some words.
If you actually listen now,
we're gonna have some words for him, because he told me that you were deadlifting X amount of weight, and that's a lot of weight considering you've only been deadlifting about 5-6 weeks. Anyway, the point is, why I'm giving him a shot, is that this man has lost 13 kilos in about 13 weeks, and he came up to me. We meet our clients all different routes. We meet, we'll meet them on the internet. They'll send us messages. You'll meet somebody on the streets, etc. I actually met Varun in the club, in the health club, and to see his drive and to see his willingness to change, it's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, from week 1 to week, what's it, 13 now?
It's week 13.
Just the difference in posture,
yeah,
smile. The man walks in, he's happy.
Yeah.
I love that.
That's that walk.
And he walks in with a swagger. I love the swagger.
You can't teach swagger.
Dan's the same. You can't. You've got to develop it. And as you get confident, it just naturally develops.
Yeah. Yeah,
and
cool,
I think,
man.
that's an awesome one. I really like hanging out with Varun. He's a cool dude.
Talk about a little bit, though, like, it's cool that you and I collectively do get to chat with each other's clients, and it's not one of these things. Because we work... TK and I, we work in a commercial, high-end, fast-paced, very competitive health club.
Yeah.
So one of the things that's really interesting is if you walk in there, anyone listening that isn't familiar with us or what we do, you walk in there and it can be really intimidating. You'll see, the stat may be a little misconstrued, but I think it's something like we do about 5,000 members a week.
Yeah.
So you put that.
Yeah, there's 20,000 a month that walks.
Yeah, that walks
in
through the doors, and then not to mention the amount of other coaches and trainers in that same facility, and it's kind of something.
It is competitive, and it can you can kind of get away from being friends sometimes a little bit because of that competition. But I think it's good to actually know other people's clients and chat. I'm not there to steal your client. I just want to talk and just create a good environment for everyone.
It's something that you and I have embraced, because that's the important part right there, the environment.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, you want people to be comfortable.
Because coming from a client, because I was a client before, I was an actual employee there.
Yeah.
And obviously Graham was my trainer. but I was friends with some of the other trainers.
Yep.
And that was something that I kind of wanted my clients to kind of be as well, because that's how I enjoyed the gym. I like going there because I could talk to about 20 different people. And I love that because you can walk in there. You know, you're in there for an hour and a half, and you want to enjoy yourself, do you know what I mean?
You want to be comfortable.
Yeah.
Like, what I see a lot from new clients, new members, is that the head's on a swivel.
Yeah, because they're intimidated.
And they're looking around. And so what I get to work on is I'm working on I'm going through this in the last couple of weeks because I have new clients, and I've noticed that behavior.
Yeah.
And so I've been thinking, all right, how do I pull them in? How do I bring this up without sounding too self-righteous of, hey, look at me, because that's not who I am. I don't run my business that way, but it is a noticeable behavior that could deter them because we need that focus.
Hell yeah.
You need that reciprocation.
So gym etiquette, number 1, personal trainers. Let your clients talk to other personal trainers.
Gym etiquette, I like that one.
I think we'll have
a whole separate
episode. We'll do another segment, man. I wrote an article on this one, actually.
Yeah,
it was pretty funny.
Should. We talked about it a lot.
It was actually pretty funny.
That's a fine line there because people get really sensitive.
They do a little bit, but we're not that sensitive, so we love it. But let's get back onto the show now. We've got a few topics to.
I thought we were on the show.
Oh,
let's go. Go on. What's up?
We've got a little plan. Sometimes we ad-lib us too a little bit, but we're going to talk about a few different things today.
Yep.
First one I want to touch on is our inspirations. Both of us have come from very loving homes, and we have heaps of inspirations in our lives. Even between the two of us, we kind of try to inspire each other just to take that next step and just kind of push week by week to challenge each other just to achieve a little bit more.
Yeah. So, do you want me to take this one first?
Yeah, man.
So, inspiration, it's very evident for the people who know me. My mother's a huge inspiration for me. She's a
little shout out?
Yeah, Rosie. But
we'll know if you watch too now.
Yeah. She's very technologically, let's say, impaired. She comes from a different world. I remember as a kid, our phone, it was the rotary. Like, people don't realize, if I would get in trouble at school, I would literally go home. Like, the principal would say, Johnny, we're calling your parents. I'm like, all right, cool. I would act like I was scared. I'd go home, and all I'd have to do is unplug it. Because
they have no idea.
They have no idea. Because it's plugged into the wall. It has the rotary, 7, that one.
Yeah.
And then we didn't have an answering machine. So anyway, my mother inspires me, man. She is about 4'11", the tiniest little thing, like spark plug. And my father, rest in peace. He's no longer with us. He's a great man. He was a big dude. He was a big Slavic man, like 6'2", 6'3", big guy. My mother was 4'11". I was the fear of God would be in me when I was in trouble as a kid from my mother.
Wow.
And she's like this big.
I think I'm the same. My mom's not much taller. My mom's about an inch taller.
Yeah,
she's
I met her at the walk.
The walk, yeah. She's only 5 foot, but yeah, she used to. I was never scared of my dad.
Yeah, no, the Pops was good.
Yeah.
Pops would kind of like. He would have to sneak when no one was listening. Be like, hey, don't tell your mom I gave you this.
Yeah, we were pretty good. We were fine.
Yeah, we were cool.
But Mom, she was the one that could.
Yeah, I find inspiration through her. She's been through the older we get as people, if we're fortunate enough to get to survive things. A lot of us. I mean, I've had friends who are no longer with us. I'm sure you do too. So as we get through those years, the older we get. It's going to be more likely that you're going to go through some drama.
Yeah.
You're going to go through some challenging things that are going to make you question your beliefs. They're going to make you question your faith or lack thereof. And my mother, she's been through the ringer, everything, so many things. Changed a career, lost a career, love, loss. My father passing away. So many things. That just building it just to see her. She just recently finished another degree.
Yeah, you were talking about that the other day.
That I'm so proud of because. I know, we are our parents' kids, so a lot of the things and behaviors that we have come from them. So I know I don't like a classroom setting.
Yeah.
I like learning, but the style of education of just regurgitating information and memorization, I don't like. It just didn't work.
I like learning at my own pace, and I actually I'm either a visual, and I like to listen as well.
Yeah.
But not in someone in front of me. I like to maybe take it away, like a podcast type of setting.
Yeah.
I learn so much from podcasts more than actually going to a class and actually viewing something.
Yeah, I think it's I don't like the pressure, and I don't like if it's not practical. I think one of the things that I've always been good at is being able to see in any situation is especially school, is like, all right, will I be able to use this? This is something as a young man I was able to do. Like, all right, you're teaching me this, so where am I going to be able to take this, what you're telling me to study and learn, and use it in my life? And if I wasn't able to see that, it would just be like, I'm wasting my time. I'd rather be out learning a skill like putting together an engine or building, a house with bricks that they don't teach us, and I don't know how to do.
Yeah.
One of those things, I wish that I was able to do these things, and I think those are more probably important skills than learning how to do trigonometry. Like, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Like, learn trig? I remember raising my hand in 11th grade as Mr. Schnellenberger was his name. Liberty High School, represent class of 2000. And it's like, Mr. Shell, am I, like, I don't know how to do this. Like, where am I going to, give me an example in life when I'm 25, 30, 35. Then I'm going to need trig. So back to my mom to come full circle. She just finished a degree. She's like 79 years old.
What did she...
She's actually 59. Don't. My mom is 132 years old, and she just finished another degree.
What did she study?
Occupational therapy.
Wow.
Yeah, she is a service to others. Degree, Bachelor of Science, registered nurse, occupational therapy. She's done that whole field of just servicing others, and I'm like, Mom, you're like 130 now. You need to start like teaching it or like having a team around you. But
yeah.
She still she still wants to just keep moving.
Maybe she'll have a podcast soon, man.
Which is excellent. Yeah, we got to get her on a plane.
I think so.
Yep, let's do it.
That's awesome. What did you want to do when you were young?
When I grow up.
When I was young, when you were 5, 6, 10, whatever. What did you want to do when you grew up?
Pro athlete. Without even thinking about it.
Yeah.
A pro athlete.
Because you were baseball.
Well, see, that's the thing. I played football, baseball, and basketball.
Yeah.
And basketball was my favorite sport. But I was better at competitively in baseball. And it was one of those things like, I was a late bloomer in everything. I remember when I was 12 on different levels of sport. When I was 12 years old, the best at baseball, this is before all the boys grew.
Yeah.
So like we were all on the same playing field. Nobody had hit puberty yet. And then I remember going the very next year, and everybody was taller than me. I didn't grow until I was about 17.
Well, I never really grew at all, but I know what it's like to be small, the smallest of the team, but the best in the team.
Yeah.
I think that's how we both relate, because we're both the best player, but we're the smallest player.
Yeah. I mean, I wasn't the best when I was 16, 17, 18, but I played with that chip.
Yeah.
And my buddies that...
I used to like going after the big guys because of it.
Yeah, you're a rugby guy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, similar to football. And that's that thing I think that... I think the importance of... I never was taught as a kid an instrument. So like looking back, when I have kids, I would teach a kid how to play the piano, the guitar. I think that's a valuable skill. But the team sport aspect is so important for kids, because now what you get to do, because what your parents enabled you as a kid, you learn these skills as an athlete playing in a team sport: perseverance, adversity, overcoming these scenarios that seem pretty basic as a 12, 13, 14-year-old, but now when you're a 30-year-old and you're dealing with like high level scenarios and stressful situations, you're able to take a step out of it and deal with it differently, rather than that kid maybe who didn't get that chance.
Yeah, it's all about competitiveness. I love that. And just taking people under your wing. I used to love, I don't know, were you captain of your teams a lot?
The label thing, I was a bad teammate. Yeah. like on my basketball team, I was a gun, because I enjoyed shooting. So I went past the ball. I was shooting the ball. And on baseball, I pitched. So it was that position that I could stand on a mound, stare. It wasn't good. I wish going back to see like the ego that was. Yeah.
Just to look at yourself.
Yeah.
Watch yourself.
Yeah. There's no way I would have chose me as a captain. No way. Horrible teammate.
I used to like taking people under my wing and looking after them and making sure they're all right.
Yeah.
Because not everyone can be good, you know what I mean? But it just getting out there and actually having a go, I think that's huge, you know what I mean? Like.
And while you're in it, the measure of an athlete is the production on the field. But you're right. I think the bigger point is what that athlete does off the field. Yeah. Because anyone could you have these guys who are really exceptional athletes that were just given this talent.
But it's not just about talent. Like, people realize, like, the greats like Kobe Bryant, LeBron James, Michael Jordan. Yeah. People think that they're just talented, they just show up. It's not true.
No way.
They're the first to training. In training, they're competitive as hell, pushing their teammates. at the end of the training, when the others go home,
yeah,
they're still there.
Yeah, there's a story I heard a couple years ago, and I'm not a Kobe guy. I know he's at the twilight of his career. He's getting ready to retire. He's one of the best ever. I'm just not. I'm a LeBron guy, being from Northeast Ohio. But there's a story about Kobe that I remember resonates with me. When I was living in Long Beach, there was a kid I used to hang out with who was a trainer on the Lakers team. And he would say that one of his colleagues, like the senior level trainer, was responsible for Kobe in terms of like not while he was like in season, but in the off season. So the off season drills, the shooting drills, he was basically his rebounder. He would stretch him out, and Kobe calls him one time to tell him to meet him earlier before practice. So they had a meeting earlier before practice. They did the shoot around. Kobe practiced, and then Kobe just stayed. And then the trainer had to be back at 8 a.m. When the trainer got back at 8 a.m., Kobe was still there.
That's awesome.
He had never left. This was like in the early 2000s, I think, when they went on that run when they had Shaq.
Yeah.
And I think Big Shot Bob was on that team.
He grew up in like Italy.
No, he's a
Philadelphia.
Philly, yeah.
But didn't he go overseas with his father was a basketballer too, wasn't he?
Being from that part of the country, I know that he went to high school in Philly.
Yeah, because he was drafted at 18 years old.
Yeah, Lower Merion High School. He just played his last game in Philly just a couple nights ago. And did you see what happened in the crowd?
No, what happened?
They were chanting Kobe.
Good.
Did you see though when he was younger when he went? They
used to boo him, didn't they?
Yeah, it was.
But they had a pretty big rival. They won the finals. Iverson,
AI
he was one of my favourite players back in the day, man.
Me too.
He's another one that showed that you don't have to be a big guy. He was undersized shooting guard.
And he played with that.
6 foot.
And he was fierce. He was
tiny.
He would take it to the hole. Like he was 7 feet tall.
Yeah.
And I think that shortened his career a little bit because he would go in there. The same thing that made him great was that it's that double-edged sword. Because he would go in there with such reckless abandon, he would take such a beating on his body.
Yeah.
Because those guys are trees.
They used to hit him hard, man.
Yeah, and
7'2", 7'1" guys.
Yeah, and he's falling, hitting the ground, man. It's crazy. Sport is the lessons we learn, I think, very valuable.
Yeah, but it doesn't really cost anything really to play sport. That's what I love about it. Do you know what I mean? You can go have a pickup game with your friends in the park. I mean, you can have fun. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, you can't really go do a pickup game of ice hockey.
No,
that's expensive.
That is very expensive.
Same thing with golf.
But
you're not gonna give me on. Man, I'll compete on a golf course.
You mean anything that happens?
I'll handle it. But I'm not good because I didn't come from that culture of going golfing.
Yeah,
because nobody had golf clubs.
I've never played golf before.
Yeah, no one had golf clubs.
Never played golf before. But obviously, both of us being short and small in school, were you picked on at school?
Oh yeah. I was bullied. Man, I was bullied, and so I went to a Catholic school from kindergarten to 8th grade.
Yeah.
Right, and in this Catholic school, I had 11 people in my class from kindergarten to 8th grade. I can name all of them right now. There were 10 boys and 1 girl, and when I was in 5th and 6th grade, there were 2 kids a year younger than me, and they would gang up on me. I was an awful looking kid, man. I had buck teeth, huge overbite, skinny. My sister said I looked like a sponsored child, like on the commercials, like Somalian. So I would get bullied, and a lot of the people where I'm from, Northeast Ohio, there wasn't any ethnicity, so it was white and black. That's all I knew. Mm. And me, a buddy of mine, Nick Bellino, Chris Costas, we're like 12. And then the rest of our friends were all black. Kevin, David, Christian. And that's all we knew.
Yeah.
So you pick up what is it? Adaptation of habitation. The thing about what you're exposed to, you become. So when I finished 8th grade, rather than staying in the inner city, we moved to a suburb. And the suburb was predominantly a white high school. So when I went to that high school, I was also bullied and picked on because I was the white kid who had these mannerisms and habits and the way I walked and at the time the way I talked and the ego about being, whatever they would call a white kid who was trying to so-called act a different way. Mm. So yeah, I faced bullying my whole life, and it was finally
like as well, like growing up being the smallest kid in school. Not people used to tease me for my height.
Did you
people
fight
still
a lot?
do. Not really fight. I think a lot of people didn't want to fight me because my brother was 2 years older than me.
Okay.
So he was always having my back.
Yeah.
So I think that's the reason why I never turned into a fight, and it was always just about a joke. But I don't think people realise sometimes how harsh words can be.
Yes.
When
you're that young.
Yeah, most definitely. And I think that's something that people should realise even now. I think bullying. is still huge in society.
Everywhere.
Yeah.
Everywhere. I think it happens more often than not now via the internet.
Yeah.
Social media.
And yeah, when you think about how many people, I think everyone in their lifetime will have some form of depression.
Yes. Well, that's a whole nother... We could talk about depression.
I think that's huge in terms of, like, trying to reflect on how other people are feeling. Do you know what I mean?
So that's mindfulness.
Yeah.
And that's a skill.
So if there's something anyone takes out of today's podcast, just think about what you say to people sometimes. Think about things that you write on people's walls, comments on people's Facebooks and things like that. You know, you don't know what the other person's going through, do you know what I mean? It might be a cry for help.
Yeah.
People posting things on social media and things like that. So
yeah, that's a very good point about not knowing what people are going through, because we live in such a fast-paced society. I know in Sydney, taking public transportation to the city, the CBD where I work, it's really dog eat dog. Boom, boom, boom. There is zero mindfulness. You're in front of me, I'm gonna get in front of you, and it really comes down to detaching yourself from all of that chaos and realizing that we need to just coexist collectively. Like the idea of one-upping each other, and it was a saying I heard when I was a kid in America, keeping up with the Joneses, the idea that my neighbor just bought a new car, so I need a new car, and guess what? I'm going to get the boat too. That way of thinking is absolutely detrimental for any type of cohesion, for people to get along and grow together.
Yeah, I think so as well.
And like you said, being aware that no matter what the person looks like, what they're going through, how they're treating you, everyone has a story.
Yeah. Someone could be overweight, but you don't know what they might have a disease.
Or they could have already lost 30 kilos.
Yeah, it might be out of their hands. And then you teasing them, you're like, yeah, exactly, they've lost 30 kilos. Yeah. But that's an amazing thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And they're on their path, and all of a sudden you knock them down, and they don't want to do it anymore.
Yeah.
And it was you that did that, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So have a good think about...
That's an awesome point.
Yeah, when you actually, in your head... teasing people and things like that. They're human beings.
I read an awesome piece. It was basically about a Tibetan deity. I'm gonna butcher the name, but it was basically a Buddha-like manifest, and his saying was that any person that ever approaches you or delivers you with negativity, whether they hurt you, they steal from you, you need to just... It sounds really hard to be able to do this, but you need to just tell yourself this person is the one suffering.
Yeah.
They're the one internally unfulfilled.
Yeah, and I was talking about this now. Like, we've both done it. Like, we've both... Do you know what I mean? Like, we've both been little shits.
Bigots? I was a...
So, I think what we're trying to say is we reflected what we did before.
Yeah.
And just trying to make people aware now.
That you can change.
That you can change.
And
there's no problem in changing.
No, there is, like...
Reflecting is a powerful thing.
I think the toughest part for some people, whether it's through conditioning of their career or being so, calloused of the relationships that they've created and built, that they start believing that they're important, or they start believing that they're permanent. So it's important to realize that the plan isn't to outdo and put harm on people. Mm-hmm. The plan is to, treat people nice, treat people kind, hold the door for somebody, tell someone I thank you, tell someone I'm sorry, and then ask for help. Be aware that you're not perfect. So when you said that, I've definitely done that before. Even in my mid-20s, roughly 8-9 years ago, I wish that somebody could have come along when I was 25 and said, "Hey, Johnny, what are you doing?" Now I was fortunate enough to have this happen in my late 20s, and I did a lot of upskilling on myself. I chose to go through some personal developmental workshops and processes in leadership training, and it was the toughest thing I've ever done. I mean, I'm talking tears. Every process, it was a company out in Nevada, Las Vegas, Rapport. It really changed my life, and it was because of that I knew that I'm not going down the right path. I'm choosing to be around not bad people but bad friends. And what happens when you're around bad friends? Bad choices. But yeah, that type of awareness of knowing that you're not doing things the right way, and then choosing to change. Yeah, I think is the main important. We need.
At the end of the day, it's your choice. So you can't really keep blaming people until you decide to make that choice. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, accountability.
Exactly, accountability is huge. So,
you were going through that. You chat with me when I couldn't imagine the industry that you were in. I mean, I only know it from Hollywood. I'm not sure, the stocks, the high flying, being from America, you see Wall Street. It's been, I was an 80s kid, so you see it in the movies with Sheen and Martin Sheen. You see it with Eddie Murphy did one, Trading Places. It's glamorous. Boom, boom, boom. If you're good at something, you're gonna make a lot of money.
Yeah.
But you were saying you just weren't fulfilled.
Yeah, not at all. It was about party lifestyle. And
was there any moments so when was your moment when we talked about last episode, my aha moment, and when was yours when you knew that, okay?
Probably the first time, because I'd been at the same job for about nearly 9 years, and I decided to leave because I had a better offer. So I left for money.
Okay.
And I think everyone will reflect that once in their lifetime, that they'll make a wrong decision to leave for money.
Do you know the Steve Jobs quote?
And no, I don't.
Yeah, I'm gonna butcher it, but I'll tell you the idea of the quote.
Yeah.
The idea, what he's saying though is, if you make your life's mission, if you make your main goal revolving around money, you'll never be happy.
Yeah.
Because someone will always have more.
Absolutely. So the place I ended up at, they ended up going bankrupt after 6 months, and just the environment in there was very toxic and just a lot different to what I was used to.
Yeah.
And I don't know, it was just very, very strange, probably 12 months of my life where I just felt that, it's the first time I've done something for money.
How long ago was this?
That was 2000 and, wasn't that far out, 2012.
Okay. Yeah. Do you feel fortunate? They always say,
I'll tell you what it was.
20/20 hindsight.
It taught me a lot about myself. It taught me a lot about how to run a business, and because obviously we started our own with a couple of the other gentlemen.
Yeah.
Andrew, Philip, and David. So that was with Key Equities, which was good. I had a lot of fun in Key Equities. It just didn't really, I didn't see myself going long term with it. So and I really wanted to challenge myself and get into the fitness and healthness industry because I felt that was kind of my path, because training, sports, it'd been there since I was 6.
Back to inspiration, we could go down this rabbit hole. That's why, the best part of what I look forward to is these chats, because if we could reach out to somebody, if somebody's listening now, and then they could take even just one thing that either myself or Tristan says and use it and apply it to their life, that's my mission.
Well,
because helping people.
That 2012, so I was in a job I hated.
Yeah.
Even though I was getting paid well.
Yeah.
My mum got diagnosed with breast cancer.
Yeah.
My godmother was going through breast cancer.
God.
And then I just didn't feel fulfilled in life at all.
It puts things in perspective.
Yeah, but in saying that, what you guys got to realise is there is a light at the end of the tunnel.
Yeah.
Especially if you surround yourself with really good people and you respect people more. And I think that really opened up my relationship with my mum.
Yeah.
In terms of now, I would rather go to dinner with my mum and my dad than go out and party.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I'd rather spend time, because I've seen some of my cousins lose their fathers, their mothers. We just don't know how much longer we're going to have together. I see some people get diagnosed with cancer tomorrow. Some kids getting hit,
Yeah.
You just don't know what's happening. Look at the things, I don't want to talk about anything politics or anything like that, but what happened in Paris, that was taken out of their hands, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it happens
to us,
Man, it happens every day, everywhere.
Yeah, exactly.
You can't have, and it's this just human instinct to retaliate, just respond with negativity, respond with the same. When it comes to those type of grotesque human actions from people who really aren't mindful.
Yeah, absolutely.
But back to what you said, we're not permanent.
No.
I say that a lot because it was really, it's one of those things that I live with every day, and that's what helps drive me.
Absolutely.
I use that for those first meetings with new clients or meeting a new friend. It happened this past week, and I tell myself, I'm like, all right, What do I do to, I want to be, my goal is to be the best version of myself. I don't want to be the best person in the room. I don't want to be the most well-known, famous person, but I want to be the best version of myself.
Yeah.
I want to reach my full potential. I don't want to go to the grave with greatness still inside me.
Yeah.
You know, like Les Brown says, so many people are dead now without so many people have died with their greatness in them because they chose not to take risks, and that's what drives me. Because I'm really well aware that this is all temporary.
Yeah, you can take it from us at any moment. So
yeah,
kids, go out there and go for your dreams.
Oh yeah, that's it's.
And also ring your mum.
I think I'm a big believer that if people were able to develop a class to deliver to young people, because young people will hear that and it just sounds, young people are invincible. And that's the way they think because they're young. They're going to take over the world. So if we could find a way to deliver them a class to say you are invincible, but look, you're not permanent. So channel that passion. An 18-year-old is going to be way more energetic, way more ready to rock and roll than a 38-year-old because the 38-year-old is on it. You know, you're getting older. You know, your hormones are changing, levels are decreasing. So I think it comes down to teachers. It comes down to our systems in place for that young person to find a way. Because I knew it when I was 15. I knew it was in me to want to do more. I just didn't know the route to do it. I didn't have that channel, and it was through sport. But that always comes to an end too.
You know, what I really find beautiful now is looking at someone's picture from when they were young to as they get a little bit older. Like I used to hate the aging process, but I actually find it a little bit beautiful now that you kind of can be at different stages of your life and kind of it does reflect and you can kind of see it a little
different
bit
stages.
too.
Did I show you my license?
No.
You
did show me. You were a little gangster. But
no, I was hollow. I was at you could see it in the photo.
Yeah, your soul looked different.
No soul. Like I show people that photo, and that was it was about 5 years ago. Lowest state of my life. I had like there was no hope, but yeah, you could see it through photos. And if I compare that photo in my wallet to the photo on the board that is open to the public when they walk into our health club, you wouldn't recognize the two.
No.
Same person. And I mean, I'm not gonna say that I've aged the best, but I know that it's not so drastic to think that those are two different people. I just know that the one you could see in the darkness, I was so miserable. And then the other one, I'm smiling. Yeah. It's a different energy. Yeah.
Must be that Jackrabbit Slim barbershop hair.
The fade. It keeps me nice. You know what? I never had. Also, I always used to do homemade haircuts.
Mom used to cut my hair.
Dude, my mother tried cutting my hair when I think I was 11. And she butchered it. Horrible. So I told her, I was like, Mom, all I want for Christmas, buy me a set of clippers. So she did. And from there, I ended up cutting my own hair from the time I was 12 up until I was about 30.
I had a trust issue because a hairdresser cut my ear when I was 11.
That boy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And from about 11 to I was about 24, I did not go to the hairdresser.
I could tell. I mean, it's one of those things. Even when Dre is doing my beard, which is obviously horrible because I don't have a beard. It takes me 18 months to grow one. But he's trimming my neck, and I think to myself, and he's using the straight razor, and I'm thinking to myself, this is a lot of. This is trust. If we lived in the I think late 1800s Doc Holliday getting his beard trimmed. I'm like, Drake could easily just boom. Like, it is a lot of trust.
And the Johnny Stockdale.
Well, of my physical incarnation.
Lucky. He is a professional.
Yes, he's the best, man. He really is. Like I tell my clients all the time how important it is to service our bodies. It's once you're able to look at your body, and I think it comes down to self-worth. About how much you value yourself. So, and I think the physical routine is a catalyst for most people. Just getting up and devoting a small block of their busy day, their chaotic day, to themselves. Yeah. And then once they do that repetitively, then they're going to be open to other suggestions like massage, acupuncture, floating, a haircut, getting a manicure. My boys and I, like, we used to get manicures back in the day playing baseball because our coach said fingernail health is really important for athletes, especially if you're a pitcher. Like, if your job is to throw a 95-mile-per-hour fastball and you have check out like nail injuries. It happened a couple times to some famous pitchers. I think Pedro Martinez missed, I think, a high playoff game in the late 90s for the Red Sox. Yeah. But anyway, like, it's important to give our bodies upkeep, and the catalyst is just get going. Just go for a walk, join a gym, get moving, and then you'll realize, oh, the upkeep. The barber is where I'm at now, and it sounds like I'm spoiling myself, but it feels good to sit down and have somebody
good environment
care about it. Because what they're doing is, if he was awful,
it's the same as when people come to us. Like, you've got
if he was awful,
and just create an experience and just make sure they're comfortable, and
that comes from intent.
Yeah,
it does. If I know if he went home every day hating what he did. And I know he wouldn't run his own business, and I know I wouldn't go back to him, because you get to a state in your life where you're able to tell the people that you're choosing to surround yourself with if they have intent. Now, this is if you're aware. Now, if you're just floating, you're not going to be aware, so you're not going to care.
Yeah.
But once you get to that awareness state and you start holding people to a different level of accountability, it's I think that's it. Once you're able to align those on everything, even if it's the toothbrush you buy or the socks you buy, because maybe before you bought the dollar socks and they tear all the time, and now you're wearing socks with holes in them, and now a couple years now you're buying the $10 socks, and those $10 socks are comfortable and you're walking differently, things like that.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
You know what I really want to talk about right now is the vision board.
Yeah.
About goal setting.
Yeah.
I think that's very important. Like, creating a vision for yourself.
Have you done one?
And I did do one. Like, I like to do mine in my scrapbooks. I got a big scrapbook. Johnny's got one. I think it's a little bit smaller.
I have a couple of these.
But I've got a couple like these. I love jotting things down and taking ideas and just kind of.
Does it help you?
I think it does.
I learned that through leadership.
Yeah, it just creates a vision and just creates a bit of a. It's just there, and it's accountability. Like, once you write it down, you need to do it.
Do you feel connection?
Yeah, I do.
Me too. How simple is that? I think sometimes we overthink things as humans. I think sometimes that if you're not fulfilled and you're not happy, the smallest bit of advice that sounds so easy will sound impractical.
And when we say goal setting, vision board, like, I know a lot of people want money, and someone might write $1 million on there. But how are you going to get to it? Do you know what I mean? Like, it's better goals to achieve in the short term. Can you make your bed?
Yeah.
Can you eat properly for a week?
That's right, man.
Can you go to the gym for a week?
That's it. See that, and we're both really into reading, listening, being open-minded to people who have gone through it. And most of the guys I listen to are in their 50s, 60s, and now they we'll probably never meet, but they're my mentors, because they're speaking from life experience.
Yeah.
And that's I think a common denominator in it is they'll be honest with yourself.
Yeah.
Okay? So if you're a guy that has a high school education and you want a mansion in the Hollywood Hills, don't just put that mansion in the Hollywood Hills on your vision board. You need to put, all right, if I have a high school diploma, what am I good at? Be honest. What are you good at? Are you good at writing? All right, then take a writing workshop.
Yeah.
Things like that, manageable. And what begins to happen is the process of crossing it off.
Yeah.
And crossing
I think it's huge.
Achievement.
And
it's
what
awesome.
I find is like a bit of a domino effect. You tick one off.
Momentum.
And then, momentum's huge. It just kind of works for you.
Yeah. Yeah, it's very important.
It's very real. If you set realistic goals,
you
can knock them all down.
I know where you and I did a vision board. So I have a couple. I have one hanging over my bed. It's a dry erase board, and I change it. I used to change it. I didn't have standards before. When I first got it, it was very vague. Boom, boom, boom. And now I'm changing it every 4 weeks. And I know when you and I first did ours about 12 weeks ago, and what we do, Tristan and I, if you've teamed up with someone, or if you have a good friend, or if you have maybe it's a girlfriend or boyfriend that are supporting you, do it together, because what that'll then do is create another sense of accountability, and then you'll be able to review it. When you and I went to check our 12-week one just 4 weeks ago, you remember how bizarre? It was like, oh my God. And then we just did another one 4 weeks ago, and what it looks like now
is a lot different as well. So you have to constantly review it. You got to look at it every day. It's not something you just do once and then just leave.
It's so true. It's so useful.
Yeah.
It's so useful. I first started vision boards through I did this process called Leadership Breakthrough 1. It was in a 3-hour town outside of Vegas. And the company's outside of Vegas. It's called Rapport, man. Changed my life.
Wow.
Changed my life. Like, seriously. It was, but yeah, and a lot of these things that I do now, I picked up there. I picked those skills up. And it's all about finding skills. What do I always say? Invisible tool belt. Like, I walk around every day with my invisible tool belt. And that invisible tool belt will have things on it like everything from being able to do poetry, because I chose to do a poetry workshop, or learning how to teach boxing, not box but teach it, and then upskill yourself with a public speaking course. Or those are the things I mean, like finding ways to improve yourself that will be useful, not a trigonometry class, Mr. Schellenberger.
Yeah, I think communication is a huge thing to teach. Sometimes the best teachers are the best communicators, not the best. Do you know what I mean by that? Sometimes the best players, athletes, don't become the best coaches.
Yes.
Sometimes the best teachers weren't the smartest in their grade, but
yes.
they have a way of actually bringing it out and bringing out the best in someone else.
That's a skill.
Yeah.
That's a skill, and that's rare.
Yeah.
I mean...
There's full respect to people like teachers, coaches, because even what we do now, because there's a difference between going to the gym.
Yeah.
There's some beasts in our gym.
Yeah.
But they wouldn't know how to coach it. And that's no disrespect against them.
Yeah.
It's just, I've had a few conversations with some friends about it and things like that. It's about things like when a brand new client comes straight in, a beginner, you have got to be very patient with that person. And you will there once as well. Do you know what I mean? You've got to relate to them. And it is a lot of hand-holding for that first few weeks. But it's about getting that and making them feel comfortable in that environment. Yeah,
it's all about the words we use. I know that I'm not the best at anything. I'm aware of that. But I know what I can do, the things I can control, is I could be the best at my intent.
Yeah.
I could be the best version of myself that day.
Absolutely.
So that stage of training you're talking about, the word I use is foundation. I call it the foundation phase.
Yeah.
And I'm able to talk through my clients. Natalie, the client that I gave a shout out to with boxing, we just got out of that phase. And what I do with all new clients is I'm like, look, I have to be able to, and we have to be able to put bricks down to build that foundation of the house. And as we build more bricks, then the walls could be put up. And then I'll use a sporting analogy. Then I can open up the playbook. And that may mean that for the first 4 weeks, we're doing, things like body weight movements, very simple 10 reps for 4 sets. And then after, once I feel comfortable with their movement and they feel comfortable and they feel comfortable with the club, then we could progress.
Yeah.
But
hell yeah.
Did you? His up.
Man.
Yeah.
We got a few questions and
Rabbit
answers.
hole.
We got a few questions and answers.
Who you got?
Do we have? You made me a little intro, didn't you?
Did I? Oh yeah. Do you want me to do it?
Yeah, do it.
All right, I had the intro recorded, but
it.
This is just an idea I'm flirting with, and it would be I can't do the Bruce Buffer, but it would be Bruce Buffer saying it's time. The UFC type thing is Canal Knows.
Canal Knows. Wow.
Segment. The Canal Knows segment. Basically, we hand him the mic.
Yeah. So we got questions and answers. Some of my friends and clients have sent me a few questions just to answer. So what we want to do, anytime you want a question, just send it through to either Johnny@therealfitcoach.com or Tristan@TristanCanalFitness.com.
Oh my God, it's not recorded.
Send it through and
keep going.
Send it through and we'll get the question answered during the week. But first question we've got is from Joanne in Sydney. She says, I'm training 4 sessions a week and I've cut my cardio to only 2 sessions.
Yep.
I've lowered my rep ranges and increased my weight that I lift. I currently weigh 48 kilos but cannot put on any weight. Is there any nutritional supplements I can take to help me increase my weight and hopefully also increase lean muscle? So I think, Joanne, firstly, congrats on being so active, because to do 4 sessions in weights and 2 sessions in cardio a week, that's quite an achievement just to fit it into your actual week. But I think I used to do this as well. I think you might be underestimating the amount of food you're actually eating when you have to consider the types of work you do, looking after your family, even just going walking to the shops, anything like that. I think you've just got to you're probably underestimating probably the amount of food you're kind of eating. Probably the best way to start tracking your intake. You'd probably have to say, because I think without you actually tracking your intake, you won't actually know realistically how many calories you need to hit in a day.
Yeah, I think that also when somebody is just new to the game is that they're not aware of like all the little things that you're doing count and matter, because their perspective is the movement of the gym itself, like being in it, but they're not aware like even the preparation of getting there.
Yeah,
that counts. That's more than you did yesterday.
Well, I can even just talk from experience, going from a desk job to the gym. I went from eating maybe only 2,500 calories, which is probably about 5 meals a day. At the moment, I have to eat about 3,500 calories just to keep my weight.
You can't.
And that was after losing about 6 kilos, even though I was training a lot harder, and you helped me with my diet as well.
Yeah.
But in saying that, 3,500 calories is a lot of food.
Yeah.
So it does. But the only way I found out about that, I used MyFitnessPal, which is just a simple app. There's another app that I was using as well, just to actually work out how many calories I actually did need in a day. So it's about taking a bit of responsibility, accountability, and it only really takes 5 minutes a day, but it's that 5 minutes a day that will actually make a difference. So Joanne, I think you should first work out how many calories you need in a day, work out the different activities you're doing in a day, and I think you'll have a better perspective on how much food you actually have to eat.
And Joanne, be patient.
Absolutely.
Please be patient.
Okay, the next one I've got is from Grant. He's from Sydney as well. Just a quick difference on the difference between calories and kilojoules. Grant, they're pretty much the exact same thing. What they do, they measure energy, which is provided by your food and your drink. So it's much like in America, you guys have miles, and in Australia, we've got kilometres. Practically, we are measuring the exact same thing. It's just obviously a different measurement. That's what a calorie is. So calories is what Americans use. Kilojoules, you'll probably see it a lot in fast food restaurants. That's a lot of the measurement that they use. So the easiest way to do it, because most of the apps will actually track by calories, is to divide your kilojoules by 4, and that will actually give you what your calories is.
Awesome,
So
I did not know that.
Yeah, it's nice and easy. Another thing that I did work out for you guys as well, standard measurements for your protein, carbs, fat, and alcohol. As we both know, 1 gram of protein is 4 calories.
Yeah, 4 calories.
1 gram of carbs, also 4 calories. Be careful with your fats, 1 gram is 9.
9.
And then
Big jump.
You've got 1 gram of alcohol at 7.
Yeah,
so
and these are numbers that could be definitely used for guidance. I know a lot. You're the type that you're very analytical. The numbers are it's a tool.
Yeah.
So you've empowered yourself. So for Graham, for Joanne, empower yourself. This is easy. Take this down, learn it, and then use it practicality. Use it, in your everyday life.
Yeah. Cool, man. You're going to like this last one. I got it from Andy from Parramatta. He's a regular gym goer, but he's failing to put any size on his chest. Now, he wants to know, do you have any good exercises that can help me out?
Oh, the chest.
Do you want to talk about the chest foundation, maybe? That was pretty
which
good.
one?
Chest
the foundation
you did it with me?
Yeah, so we did a video you could find on our collective websites, but it's now the video you're going to see, chest foundation, is what I would use for somebody looking to build it. And it's just a mix of lifts combined with body weight movements, and then messing around with some tempo, some rest periods. We did some supersetting, things like a flat press, barbell with a push-up, because we're adding volume, and you want to add the volume will then increase your muscular endurance. You do weeks of that, you get to the stage of where you might go to a 5x5 program, and then you're going for strength, and it's just a collective effort of what I always say: change angles, change tempo, find what works for you. But the chest, it's not anything that you're not reinventing the wheel with it. Flat, incline, decline would be your standard presses. A lot of people avoid the decline, maybe just because not many people are well versed. I don't see a lot of people doing it. And then dips too. Dips can be used as a sneaky body weight movement.
Hybrid dip was
the hybrid dip,
very good.
Which they're gonna have to go to your website to see what that even is, because we invented that. My roommate, who's a chiropractor, Sam Woods, we kind of did the hybrid dip at a park one day. They were getting easy, the regular dip, and we were like, how can we make it a little bit harder? How can we evolve? So basically, it is a knee raise into an L sit into a dip.
Yeah.
You add that into your routine. Yeah, you'll start doing things differently too.
Yeah. Even like the barbell incline that you showed me?
Yeah, the guillotine?
The guillotine.
Changing angle.
It means, guys, that you're bringing, instead of hitting just around your sternum, that upper chest, you're bringing it up even higher. So you're pretty much hitting close to your neck.
On the neck.
Yeah.
Yeah, you want to do this one with a partner, or if you're going to do it alone, don't do a lot of weight, and you're literally finishing at the windpipe.
Yeah.
So you're increasing your range of motion.
Tempo's huge too.
Tempo's
like,
really big.
3 on the way down.
3 on the way down. You never want to go too heavy on that. It's dangerous. I wouldn't recommend it, actually, being liable for even throwing that out there. Do it with a partner. And before you do it, check my page or TK's page out, TristanCannellFitness.com or TheRealFitCoach.com, and you'll see that under the Chest Foundation training. Because it is, you want to find things that, maybe this is just the way I'm wired. I like doing things that no one else is doing.
Yeah. Champagnes?
Champagnes is another one.
That Arnold.
So Arnold spoke about these, and I'm not even the biggest Arnold guy.
Yeah.
I don't want to go too in. I respect what he's done, but you're not going to find posters of him on my wall.
No.
But he was really smart, and he was really driven, so I admire that. Yeah. But he had a specific isolation movement that he called champagnes, specifically because the movement emulated him pouring champagne on his chest. And it's a good one. Lightweight. Check the website out.
That's how awesome he pours champagne on himself.
Yeah, I mean the guy.
Wow. Anyway, also push-ups. So we're thinking push-ups, bench press.
Yep. I would do diamonds, do regular push-ups, do a flat press.
That easy bar.
Flies
the easy bar push-ups pretty awesome.
Yeah, but that's another one that
there's a progression. So if you're a beginner, start small.
Yeah.
Gradually build yourself up.
Yeah, in the chest, if start doing a lot of volume.
Yeah.
Don't do you're going to read about doing 5-day splits in these bodybuilder magazines, but you got to realize these bodybuilders are doing, we used to call it in America, the Mexican supplements. Yeah. And that's just saying that, we used to be able to go to, if you're living in San Diego, you could go to Tijuana and you could buy anything under the moon in Mexico.
And everyone's body's different.
Everyone's is.
So you work out for what your body is.
Do what works for you.
Exactly.
And put the work in, though. Don't take the easy way out.
If you think us two train exactly the same, you couldn't be further wrong. We don't do anything the same.
Yeah, I don't even like...
We take tips from each other and implement to our own thing, but sometimes we have to chuck it out because it doesn't work. Sometimes we keep it in because it does.
Yep. And I'm always looking for, different ways, mixing up the weights, mixing up the calisthenics, mixing up the functional training. But yeah, find what works for you. And man, I couldn't emphasize this more of don't believe everything you read in these magazines, because these magazines, they're not for the people. These magazines are to sell numbers and to make money for the image and the person in those photos.
They're very commercial.
Very commercial, and it's very basic, and they take advantage of the ones who are just getting started.
There are some good ones out there as well. It's not all of them, but yeah, in general.
Name some good ones.
Just be careful what
Do you have one?
Our Fitness First one's pretty good. It's not too bad.
You're right. No, you're right.
We've got some really good guests in there.
I like that. Did you see they did this spread on the parkour guys?
Yeah.
Which, man, I wish I could do that type of stuff.
Yeah, absolutely.
I wasn't
some of their stuff is awesome, man.
Yeah, the parkour.
But, from time to time, I don't mind like men's fitness and men's health like not all the time.
Yeah, I think where the industry is going is more towards the online, not the online coaching, but PTDC, for instance.
Yeah, I think their one is very, very
because
good.
They're so credible. Awesome. Yeah. The integrity of the website, you're not going to see an article written by.
And if you're a new PT, definitely the amount of free content they've got on there, they can show you how to go from zero. Yeah. So I wouldn't say he's a hero, but you know what I mean.
No, I took Goodman when Goodman released that article about creating content a while back. That's when I was I won't say enlightened, but he opened my eyes. Wow, okay, I didn't know about that. Yeah. Because if you're new to something, you're not going to know it. And what the website does is it enlightens you and it empowers you because it's coming from a perspective of people who have done it and they've been successful.
And the same thing as we talked about last week about sharing information.
Huge.
Yeah. And I think that's what they do. The amount, I couldn't believe that they don't make people pay for it yet, because some of the content is wicked. It's so good. I can tell you firsthand that I took a lot of the stuff that I did when I first came on and even implement in my business now. A lot of it is from there. Yeah. And that's some of the stuff that I shared with you. You've shared some of that back with me.
Yeah, I actually reached out. I think a big thing is believing in yourself, because if you don't believe in what you do, I talk about this all the time. If you don't believe in what you do, start doing something else. Right?
Yeah.
Especially if what you're choosing to do is involving helping people, because it's going to be very evident to people around you and the people you're attempting to help that you're not there. Your body is there, but what it takes to move people is missing. And so to come full circle with that comment is that I reached out to Goodman.
Yeah.
I messaged him. I emailed him. I said, "Hey, look, man, boom, boom, boom," and it was some good old fashioned, knocking on doors. And I think that's what it takes to get anyone to the next level. Is you need to not be afraid
to reach out and ask for
help.
Yeah,
you need to not have fear, because you need to not be afraid of failure. Like failure isn't real. There's no such thing as failure. How could you fail at something if your heart's into it? Maybe you didn't get there, but who you are in those steps of working on that is way more valuable than settling on the fact that you failed at something.
Yeah, as we said, if you do unfortunately pass away young, at least you've had a crack and you've tried to. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, hopefully, that's something out of someo's control, hopefully.
Touch wood, but we're trying to do our dreams now. Like this podcast, it was an idea we both strung up 6 weeks ago.
Oh yeah,
it's our thing.
I've been wanting to do a podcast for a long time.
We know you're going to get something out of it. But if you don't want to, don't tune in.
Yeah, you can't be forced. Well, tune in. Everybody tune in.
Everyone tune in.
Yeah.
Nah, but what I'm saying is,
we're not going to be forced. We're
not forcing you to listen to it.
But I think
at the same time, we want to create an avenue for you guys to be heard and for us to pass on some of the life experiences that we've kind of went through.
Yeah.
So then when you do go through it yourself, it's a lot easier to go through.
Of course. I think, that's important to realize that you're not going through this thing alone.
Yeah, exactly right. We want to be here for you. So, this has been a pretty awesome show. I've actually really, really enjoyed myself.
I love this. Yeah. Like, I love, I know after every show we've done a couple. We've only put a couple up. It is that natural, and I leave knowing that this is where I find my bliss.
Yeah.
In its expression.
Well, we've got some cool shows coming up. Next week, Johnny's going to be in Bali. So we might do a live one from him being in Bali and me in Sydney.
We're going to do what?
Are we going to maybe try and hook that up?
Yeah, the Bali City. Yeah, we do the split screen, the old school.
So I think next week we'll be touching a lot about travelling and our own personal travelling experiences and what it means for a bit of growth. So I think, for me, we won't go into it too much now because we want to keep you...
Yeah. I'm excited about it. I can't believe they gave me a visa.
Bali's awesome. I've been there a couple of times. You really enjoy yourself out there, man.
Yeah, I'm looking to do a couple.
You're doing a retreat, aren't you?
Yeah, there's a moonlight yoga retreat, which is totally out of my comfort zone. But like I said, invisible tool belts. That's what I talk about.
But the first couple of episodes we wanted to keep between us two. But in the coming weeks, we're really excited. We've got a couple of really good strength and conditioning guys coming on.
Yeah.
We both. Through Johnny's contacts, we know couple of UFC fighters, which is always interesting.
Yeah, don't give any names away.
We won't give any names, but they're very, very good fighters, and
it's a different breed. I mean, my dad used to say about baseball players, like when you make it to the major leagues, he'd be like comparable to like an NBA player, football players. A baseball player is a different type of cat.
Yeah.
Fighters, they're different type of cats.
Yeah.
But yeah.
And also, we've also got a highly ranked judo guy coming on.
Yeah,
he's a champion. He's got a
very,
very good story, and he's training towards qualifying for the Olympic Games in Brazil next year.
Yeah, that's his push. And we had lunch this week, and man, I can't say enough good things about this person. And I'm excited for him to be on the podcast.
Yeah, just even from what you told me about him, like I saw a couple of his clips on YouTube. He's a beast, man.
Yeah,
really excited to come on and just pick his brain about not only about his training, how he lives,
it's his headspace,
how he's grown
too.
up, and just. I think the audience really, really enjoy that.
I'm excited about that one.
I'm very excited about these guys coming on, guys. So we will let you know when they're on. But thank you again for tuning into episode 2. We've had heaps of fun with you guys. Like we did say, please check out our websites, Johnny at
therealfitcoach.com
or your email,
Johnny at therealfitcoach.com.
And that's JONNY.
Yes, it is.
Or you can get me, Tristan at tristancannellfitness.com or www.tristancannellfitness.com. Like we said, we've got the questions and answers for you. If you do have a really good story, something that you do want to share, we're very, very open to getting a lot of, like we talked about last week, there is no such thing in our minds as being celebrities.
Look how many chairs are at this table.
Yeah, we've got a few chairs. So if we have to bring 10 people in to entertain, to inform, and to educate, that's what we're going to do.
Yep.
But in the meantime, we've also got Project Move, our charity. We've got Hills for Hope, which is collecting new or near new shoes for the homeless around Sydney. So if you want to get in touch, you can either, there's a few different locations where you can drop off your shoes. There's one at Quakers Hill, which is out west. There is one at Darling Point, which is in the east, or there's at the Sydney CBD. We'll both be there. So like we said, just get in touch, just send us a quick email and we'll get that done.
Is that events@projectmove.com?
Their email is events@projectmove.com.au.
Okay.
And the website is www.projectmove.com.au. But we'll also have all the links on our website.
Yep.
Now also, just want to thank again our sponsors.
Yeah, so the sponsors, once again, check out The Organic Trainer at www.theorganictrainer.com. Also, when you're checking out their products, the exercise teas, if you're going to go the hibiscus, they have a sage lemongrass one, which is phenomenal. And then I highly recommend, I always talk about it, is the sleep tea. And if you there's also a water bottle. It's a flask. If you type it,
look cool, man.
Yeah, I got a couple of them. I'll bring you
girls. Some of the female trainers had a couple.
Yeah,
of
we
things.
did.
They look cool, man.
Yeah, we stopped by.
Very happy.
Yeah, it was good. They stopped by the Organic Trainer. So if you go to their website and place an order, what you could do is under the code, type in the Fit Coach, and you'll receive a 10% discount on all products. So the Fit Coach under the code. Also, our second sponsor is Jackrabbit Slim's Barbershop. Now, this one, I wish that he could be mobile. I told Dre, who runs it and he owns it, that he needs to get a jet because he's holding back all the other people of his skill set. So if you are in the Sydney area, it's definitely worth the trip to King's Cross, Potts Point. It's literally a 2-minute walk from the train station. There's Ivan's there too, cutting hair, is doing slick skin fades.
Yeah.
So check them out. Jackrabbit Slim's Barbershop.
Cool. And just before we leave, also check us out on iTunes. If you could just leave us a quick review and also just a rating, that would just help us just to pop up in the search options. So that would be fantastic if you could do that. Like we said, please get in touch because we want to hear from you. Cheers, guys.
Yeah, have a great one. See you next time.
Peace.